Apple has recently unveiled its latest iMac generation, which is significantly slimmer than the previous model. To be precise, it's over 3x thinner. So, how did Apple accomplish this feat? That's what I'll be explaining right now to Greg from Apple. Explained. Apple had to develop the logic board and thermal system for the prior iMac model to accommodate Intel's processor. It became really heated and necessitated the use of a large fan to cool everything down. Furthermore, Intel's processor had only one function. So, in addition to the processor, the iMac includes RAM, a GPU, and a controller hub to offer the functionality that every computer needs. As a result, a big logic board was created, which took up a lot of room. This hump appeared on the back of the previous model of the iMac when a huge cooling system was combined with a large logic board. The bulge has been removed from the latest model, as you can see. And it's all because of Apple's M1 system on a chip, where they integrated all of the previously listed elements into one. This not only results in a significantly smaller logic board, but also a significant increase in energy efficiency. You might be wondering why a desktop computer that is continuously plugged in has to be energy efficient. Because there is less electricity moving through the system, less heat is generated. As a result, we'll be able to reduce the size of the thermal system and save even more room. With a small logic board and thermals, Apple recognized they could probably cram all of the equipment from behind the iMac's display into the chin, or the space behind the display. In that manner, the backside bulge that has been present on practically every iMac model might be finally eradicated. However, there were significant drawbacks to this strategy. The audio jack, SD card slot, USB ports, an Ethernet port, and a huge AC power port were all located on the previous iMac's chin. These would take up too much room in the new iMac, so Apple devised some ingenious ways to keep what they needed while eliminating the rest. The audio jack needed to be at least 13 mm deep to fit into the rear of the computer, but the iMac only has 11.6 mm of depth. Therefore, Apple moved the audio jack to the side. The SD card slot and regular USB ports have been eliminated, leaving only two USB-C and Thunderbolt connectors on the iMac. Adapters can be purchased if customers require an SD card slot, a USB port, or even HDMI. What about the AC power plug, though? By today's standards, this object is quite large. And it's the same plug that's been used to power the iMac since its inception in 1998. It wasn't the age that was the issue, but rather the size. This connector has a depth of 18.2 mm. The iMac's 11.5 mm chassis is far too small for it. Apple couldn't follow the audio jack's lead and put the power connector on the side, because that would be ludicrous. As a result, they were obliged to create a whole new plug. And now you have it. It's gleaming, completely round, and just the right depth to fit into the iMac. But the best part is that it connects magnetically, eliminating the need to fumble around in the back attempting to put it in, and it includes a color-matched woven fabric cord. Apple didn't even accomplish this with the original multicolored iMac back in the 1990s. But there was still one issue that Apple needed to address. That was the Ethernet port, by the way. It couldn't go on the chin since there wasn't enough room, yet it's one of the most crucial ports to have. Ethernet is especially important for business clients who want to set up a network that is more secure, quick, and more dependable than wireless. So, how did Apple come up with a solution to this issue? In fact, they built an Ethernet connector into the iMac's power supply. This not only saves space on the computer, but it also cleans up the user's desktops by putting the Ethernet connection on the ground instead of across their desks. Apple was able to make the new iMac only 11.5 mm thick by using a thinner logic board and cooling system, as well as a repositioned audio jack, a revised power connector, and an integrated Ethernet port. To put that in perspective, the original iPhone was 11.6 mm thick when it was released in 2007. So, 14 years later, we have a desktop computer called the iMac that is slimmer than an iPhone.